everyone. Thank you for coming. I remember the very first conference I ever presented at. There were 4 of us up there and there were 2 down here. We had a really nice conversation. So we're going to have some good conversation about this really important topic. So welcome tonight to our program tonight. I'm Dr. Kim Martin-Long. I'm the interim dean of the College of Public Service, and my associate dean, Dr. Diane Miller, is out here. I'm going to read just a few things from the sheet because I don't want to forget anything, because we just want to brag a little bit about our college. We are a college that holds 3 programs: social work, urban education, and criminal justice. Our criminal justice program for 6 years in a row has received commendations from the Wall Street Journal for being one of the best in the online master's programs in criminal justice in the country. UHD, as many of you know, because you guys work here, we have gotten also commendations among the best in the country in diversity, in the student experience. We have gotten in our urban education department, we have received commendations from the state of Texas for our bilingual teacher program. We put out more bilingual teachers than anybody in the state. And our teachers stay in the field longer than many. We've gotten commendations for preparing teachers so they don't leave the field. I think ours averaging about 10 years now, which is amazing. So we're very, very proud of our college, of our programs. Our social work program is working on a master's in social work. They have graduates working all over the city in so many amazing causes. So, and we're also very happy to have in the college our center that Mr. Villano runs, that runs this Vital Voices program, which is so amazing in its diversity and in its range of topics that are, just cover the range of ideas from education to science to, we had one on the FBI, on all kinds of really interesting topics. So I'm not going to talk any longer. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Villano, who's going to introduce our wonderful speakers. And Diane and I want to apologize. We have to run up to there's another event up the hill, as we call it. So we're going to have to run up there. But enjoy your evening, and thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, Dr. Martin-Long. Appreciate that. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to everyone online. I am Stephen Villano, and I am the director of the Center for Public Service and Community Research. And as you may know, Vital Voices serves as a forum to bring practitioners and experts in the field of criminal justice, social work, urban education, and related fields, to those disciplines, to UHD to speak to our students, our faculty, and our staff on issues that are of utmost importance to our daily lives. And quite frankly, I can't think of a more appropriate issue to talk about than AI. I, for one, know very little about AI. And it kind of doesn't freak me out, but it's like, it's overwhelming because there's something new every day. So I asked Dr. Lin and Dr. and Azedeh to help me. I asked them, I said, can you develop a presentation for the everyman, for the everywoman, just for the people who don't know a lot about it, who are just all of a sudden accepting it, okay, there's an AI here, there's an AI in this, and they put together such an amazing presentation. They sent me the slide deck and I got a chance to look at it, and it just makes everything, in my mind, it makes everything a whole lot clearer, and it makes it a little less daunting. So I really, really want to thank them both for being here. So let me give you a brief introduction, read you a little bit of their bios. So Dr. Lin received his PhD in computer science from the University of Science and Technology of China. Before he joined UHD, he was a postdoctoral research associate at Purdue University and an assistant research officer at the National Research Council in Canada. Dr. Lin is currently a professor in computer science with UHD. His research interests include cognitive intelligence, human-centered computing, parallel distributed computing, and big data analytics. He is the supervisor of the Grid Computing Lab and co-founder of the Data Center at UHD. Dr. Lin currently serves as the program director for the Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence program at UHD, and he is a senior member of the Association for Computer Machinery. Now, Dr. Azedeh Izadi is an assistant professor of artificial intelligence, specializing in knowledge representation, reasoning, and advanced AI methodologies. I mean, who better than these two people to talk about this issue? Her research spans natural language processing and ontology, okay, you're gonna have to tell us what that is, with a focus on developing predictive models to address healthcare disparities, particularly within minority communities. Dr. Izadi's work highlights the power of structured knowledge and reasoning in AI, with practical implications that extend into everyday life. In today's talk, she will explore some of the common myths about AI, providing insights into how this technology can enhance our lives in meaningful and unexpected ways. So with that, I would like to present to you Dr. Izadi and Dr. Lin. Thank you.
So, thank you everyone for joining us today. Today we want to talk about a topic that basically affected almost all of us life these days, artificial intelligence. But I hope that I can shed some light on how you can use the recent generative AIs in your daily life. So I hope at the end of this session you will leave this room with some sense of how grateful these tools are for your daily life. So before starting my presentation, I just repeat what Stephen just mentioned. On behalf of the AI group at UHD, I just want to introduce Dr. Lin, who is a director of the AI program at UHD, and myself, I'm an assistant professor in AI. So, since artificial intelligence is quickly becoming part of our daily life, it's very crucial to know what are they, how we can use them effectively, and how they shape our lives. So these are the questions that I'm trying to answer in a simple way tonight. And because of that, I will start with some basics, such as what is AI and what is generative AI, to give some context. And then from there, we explore some examples of generative AI for daily uses to show you that how they can be interesting tools for us. Then we will look at some current sentiment and potential of generative AIs, and also we introduce some different types of generative AI available to you as a user, how you can select them, and how you can evaluate them. I will briefly touch the idea of if you want to create your own GPT, I will briefly touch that part. And also, I will talk about how you can use these tools effectively for your life. And since it's tools, like all other tools, they have some limitations that we need to be aware of them if we want to use them. And at the end of the talk, we will talk about the future of AI and how they are going to take us. So the journey of creating intelligent individuals began in 1915 by the work of Alan Turing, who was interested in creating computational machinery, which are a type of machines that are able to think. However, the term artificial intelligence, for short AI, has been officially introduced in a Dartmouth conference in early 1916s, which is named as the formal birth of the field. Since then, AI system has been involved in various phases. Each of them help us to be closer to today's sophisticated technologies. The first generation of the AI, known as expert system, introduced in 1970s and continued to 1990s. This system tried to use the logical formal system to replicate human decision makings in very special areas, such as medical diagnosis and financial analysis. However, limited resources for computation slowed down their process or their development in around late 19th. And because they are trying to scale up to do more complex tasks. Around the mid-1990s, due to the advancement in computational hardware and data storage, the new breath comes to the AI. And basically, statistical approaches were the prominent methods. And machine learning was one of them. So it introduced to learn patterns over the data instead of following a set of predefined rules that we had in the expert system. Then around 2012, deep learning, the use of layers of thousands of neural networks, has been introduced. And then this system enables computers and AI systems to analyze more complex tasks, such as object recognition, natural language processing, and autonomous system. Today, we are in the era of generative AI and large language models. So you might be interested to know that what are they? What are large language models? So large language models, or for short, LLM, are a type of AI models that can generate new media, such as text, images, music, and so forth. So they are basically a type of neural network that they have designed to handle natural language tasks. So they are basically work on a massive data set to train the model and then adapt the model to do various tasks. So in short, I can say that these large language models consist of three main parts. The first is the massive data set of various types, because it lets the model know that how humans interact in various scenarios. Also, then we have the foundational model, which basically converts the huge amount of data set into a structural form. So basically, like here that you can see, this is a piece of text in which different element of it has been highlighted. So in the foundational model, the relationship between different pieces has been stored, and the model keeps it as a pattern. Then this model will be used and adapted for various tasks. So all these three components together can let the AI system work properly and generate what we want. So in this diagram, you can see all three components together. On the left side, we have the huge amount of data of various types: text, images, speech, structural data, and 3D signals. These the data will use to train the model. And then model will be adapted to do various tasks, such as analytical tasks like sentiment analysis and object recognition, pragmatic tasks such as question answering and information extraction, and more sophisticated tasks such as instruction following and information extraction. So maybe...
I'm getting a question. What is sentiment analysis?
Finding the feeling of the persons from their face. Emotional detection somehow.
And what are examples of data that are feeding into the system?
So text, I think, is obvious, like a document that you have. Images of everything. Speech are signals, which consists of, different pitches. Structural data are something like hierarchies and data behind the web pages, basically. And 3D signals are the signals, for example, in our natural world consisting of voice, image, videos, and so forth. Okay, so all these components together let the generative AI work. So you might be wondering what is inside the foundational model that let a single model can do various types of tasks just by doing a little bit adaptation or setting. Actually, we have special type of deep neural networks inside the foundational model, which consists of thousands of nodes interconnected in different layers. this neural network is the actual part of the coherent systems that let the system convert a raw data into a meaningful output, such as answer or analysis. So these neural networks, or for short, deep DNNs, work like our brains, how our brains learn to solve complex problems. In our brain, consists of thousands of neurons connected in different layers and passing information from one layer to another. Neural network is same, consisting of thousands of digital layers transferring information among the artificial neurons. So here, I just want to show you an example, a simple example on how deep neural networks are working. Okay, so here you can see a simple neural networks looking at a picture. And this network guess, what it can see on the picture. So it guessed that it is dog, which is actually wrong. We had cat on the picture. So now what will happen? Now learning will happen. Basically, the network, the neural network, like a teacher grading papers, grade is outcome based on how wrong it was. And then the magic happened. The network gradually adjusts weights. Think of weights like importance that you associate to different features. For example, here, maybe the network assumed that being a furry is more important than the snob shape. So because of that, it guessed the answer is dog. Now, during the feedback process, the network will learn to adjust these weights, assigning the same value, for example, to being a furry and the shape of the knot. So this process basically happened, and again, the next guess provided, which is wrong, again, a rabbit. So this process will repeat it thousands and thousands of times. So every time the network look at a picture, make a guess, score it, edit the weights, and then do the next round. So the network do this thousands and thousands times on thousands images, and eventually it will learn and can distinguish cats from rabbits, cats from dogs, and so forth. So this is how a simple neural network works. So as in the next question maybe comes to your mind based on what I just explained, is that, okay, so these systems, neural networks, draw inspiration from the human nervous system. In our brain, we have 86 billion nodes that can transfer information, which compared to the artificial networks is just comparing a symphony with a piece of music. So our brain working much more efficiently. Both systems are using connection to transfer information. However, in our brain, synapses, by using chemical and electrical signals, transfer the information. However, in artificial intelligence, the simple numerical connection will be used to transfer the information. So it's like comparing the metropolitan transit system with a street map. Both systems are using layered structure to analyze the task. So either face in our brain detecting a face, or in artificial intelligence analyzing the image. So this information will be flew through layers of networks in order to be analyzed. And in each layer, the complexity will increase. However, in our brain, the output is much more reliable than the neural networks. And both systems are learning through experiences. So in AI, you need to provide thousands of examples for an AI system to learn a simple task, while in our brain, we can do even complex tasks with a limited number of examples. So generally, at least by now, AI is much more weaker than the human brain system.
You mentioned that it takes a lot less samples for the human brain to recognize or learn. And what I was asking, is that because we have so many more neurons and layers, or is it because of something else that allows us to learn faster?
Basically, it's a combination of many reasons. First of all is the number of neurons and layers. On each layer, the level of complexity increase, and on each neuron, the feature that will be analyzed will be more complex. However, on the other hand, since the human nervous system using chemical and electrical signals to transfer information, this is another part, because it is much more complex than simple numbers that we have in the artificial neural network. So this method of transforming the information will affect the quality of the whole system.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that was about the technical aspect of the AI. Now I just want to show some examples of using AI in your daily life. So the first example, I think, is the one that most of you use on a daily basis, are the chatbots. So chatbots are virtual assistants that that you can chat with them. They give you suggestions. You can hold a conversation with them, and they are very helpful and can do various types of tasks, such as from customer service to tutoring. Here, you can see an example I provided for the Cloudy, which is a chatbot. And you know that for the generative AI, we usually need to provide a prompt or command for the system to work on it. So here, I asked Cloudy to introduce itself. So I asked, I'd like to learn about you. Could you tell me about your capabilities and approaches as an AI assistant? Please be conversational rather than technical. And this prompt is basically more complex. And you can see that how it can introduce itself. It talks about its limitation, how it can help me, and how can I communicate with it. So the next type of generative AIs are the ones that can generate images. With image generators, we can create artworks, we can create product design, and even imaginary landscapes. So here, these models basically train on thousands of images to learn, and then they can create this photo just by a simple description that I provided. So you can see the prompt that I gave to this AI, CG Dream, and it created this beautiful image for me. We have also generative AIs that can produce music and audios. These tools are becoming creative partners in the media now. They can create soundtracks, and they can complete uncompleted melody, and they can create original music in any genre. So these days, people are using these generative AI a lot. So here, I just want to show you the Sono AI that I use. And by giving this prompt, I ask it to create a duet for me. So it created the poster as well. I didn't provide any lyrics for it, so the lyrics generated by the AI. And I just mentioned the topic, peace, and the rest generated by AI.
almost at home. I could drift here and
I don't want to use all time for listening to this one, just seeing that how duet goes on between the two singers. Why? My voice is not there? I don't know.
This might be late.
Okay.
Took a while to understand being alone isn't.
Okay. So, can you hear me now? Okay. The next,
So that was all generated, AI generated?
yeah, without giving any lyrics, I just gave the, topic, and I just mentioned that I want to have two singers, woman and man, and also the whole scenario. The rest.
So the woman and the man were AI generated, they were not real human voices?
Yes.
Okay.
Original song created by me. So then we have the AIs that can generate videos. Basically, they are changing the creativity, the level of creativity these days. So you can, by using these generative AIs, you can create the movie screens, animation, or even personalized clips. So here, what?
This is the paid version.
No, none of them are paying. I didn't pay for anything.
So the question was, are these paid to create the song and now to create the video? Are using paid AIs? And the answer was no.
I'm a fan of free tools. So this movie is created based on some prompts that you can see. And they are not real screens. They just created by the generative AI. So you can see. No, they just give the description.
Okay, so the question was asked, are they using stock film images? And the answer was no, they are not. They are all computer generated.
Yeah. So we don't have something like this in a stock image. So all creative. So in some movies, you can see the prompts they provided to create these movies. And the AI generated this one. So AIs goes beyond the passive responses. They can be involved in our real lives. So imagine about the gaming AI and massive learning experiences, virtual assistant healthcares. All of them are experiences in which the AI created a response based on what we do. And every time they are creating a unique experiences. So here I just want to show you a movie on how they use the AI as a virtual assistant.
Hi, Sarah. I'm Rachel, your AI care manager. How are you doing after your appendectomy?
You know, I'm good. I'm glad to be home with my dog, Dennis.
It's great to hear that you're back home with Dennis.
So they
I
have all
noticed
the
that Dr.
information.
Chang has prescribed you some antibiotics, specifically ciprofloxacin and metronidazole, due to your ruptured appendix. Were you able to get these medications?
I was. I did forget to mention to the doctor that I am allergic to penicillin. Is it still okay to take the medications?
Great question. The antibiotics you've been prescribed, ciprofloxacin and metronidazole, don't contain penicillin. So it's perfectly safe for you to take them. Can you begin taking them today?
Yeah, I certainly can. Do you have any tips for faster recovery?
Given that you have diabetes, keeping your blood sugar levels in check will be beneficial for your wound healing. Your hemoglobin A1C was at a healthy level of 5.5, but your glucometer readings from yesterday were a bit on the high side. So keep taking your metformin and try to steer clear of foods high in carbs. How does that sound to you?
So we also use AI in robotics. Basically, in robotics, we have two components, AI alongside with the physical movements. We have these robots these days everywhere, from factory assistants to home helpers. So they can basically navigate the environment, respond to the command, and even they learn new tasks over time. So here, I just want to show you a brief video on how they trained robots. These are the commands they gave to the robot or prompt. So shake your hand, lie down, nod your head.
Welcome to Boston Dynamics. I am Spot, and I will be your guide for today.
Hey, Spot, how do you like your job?
Ah, Mr. Matt, my employment as a tour guide provides great satisfaction. Now behold the rock pile.
健康的なランチのテーブルを準備してください。
わかりました。
So these are some of the applications of AI, generative AI, in your daily life. Now, since I assume that the most of our audience are students, I just want to introduce some of the generative AI useful for a student, helping them to learn faster and efficient.
We have a question. Can you define what generative AI, can you explain what is generative AI?
Generative AIs are AI systems that can generate new content, new media. So here you can see some tools. Photomat is a kind of generative AI that you can take a photo of your mathematical problem and it can solve it with, by providing details. Tomo can turn notes into narratives useful for writing. Readwise can highlight important part of the PDF, help the student to learn important parts. Both Novorand and Turbo Learn AI can convert lectures, notes, and PDF into flashcards, and practice tests help the student to prepare for exams.
And the question is, are these all free?
I'm not sure. I haven't checked all of them, honestly. So I'm not a student. I'm not interested in these parts. I try other ones for my own purposes. Yeah.
The ChatGPT. Sometimes you make a question and they answer, but it's wrong. But it's very fun. No? They answer and wrong answer. Okay, after I make again the question is refining, but
I will talk about it, why it happens in the generative AI. It's in the future. It's a part of limitations in AI.
No, I know. We need, for example, the medical, how do you know that the answer from the bot is the correct?
Basically,
So the question is, how do you know, using the medical AI as an example, how do you know that the information the medical AI is giving to you is actually correct?
so that is it's not always correct now. And this is the reason that they are not officially used for medical purposes or any sensitive purposes. And the reason behind is what we call it hallucination. So later on in this slide, I will talk about what is hallucination and why it happens and how we can basically control it. Okay. What?
They answer very fast.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't mind if it is good or bad. They send the answer.
Also, they are tools, and they are they are trying to be better every day. So you should expect these weaknesses. So I basically here, I just want to know whether you have used any AI so far, and if you used it, what sort of prompts or question you ask the system to answer for it.
So those of you who are online, if you would respond in the chat and let us know, have you used AIs? What kind of AIs have you used?
Please, everybody, scan this QR code. It will direct us to the platform in which they can answer, and my colleague, he will collect the answers, and we will talk about them in depth later on.
Okay, so scan that code to ask your questions.
Yeah.
Or to answer those questions that are on the screen. Have you used AI in your daily life? Can you think of a prompt that you wish AI could reply? So if you want to answer those questions, or if you have other questions you want to put in their QR code, please do that now.
Okay. So I can guess that most of the answers are related to work environment, health issues, family development. So, which is obvious. These are the main aspects that we are taking care of. So we will check these prompts later on in depth. So now, I just want to share something with you. If you are interested and take a photo of this QR code, it directs you to a page that shared the most recent sentiment regarding the AI. So, this is a web page showing a cloud of feeling. You can provide your answer as well. They will consider it. At the time that I created this slide, the answer of this website was this. So most people on that time were excited and curious, and obviously there was some concern as well. So, either you are curious or, having concern regarding to this tool. Anyway, we should integrate it into our lives. There is no other choices. So now I just want to help you to integrate it effectively in your daily life. So this, I said that you shouldn't use it because they are really boost the productivity of your work. Because you can leave the repetitive task to the AI and then free up some time for you for yourself to work on some strategic working, which obviously affect the economic as well. This the boosting has been in research, and some researcher proved that, for example, for some analytical tasks such as data science, basically the users who use generative AI to do their task score 86% of the benchmark, which is 49-point improvement over non-AI users. And these these users completed their task 10% faster than the others. The interesting part of this research is that this part, the people who did not know anything about coding can complete the task using generative AI perfectly. So, which means that from now on, we will have a new working environment. So people are capable, with the use of generative AI, people are capable of doing tasks that they have not traditionally qualified to do it, because they didn't have experiences. So now on, the work environment will be divided into two categories. So we have employees who are a limited amount of knowledge, but being capable of doing the various types of tasks using AI, and another group of employees who are specialized in a specific task. So, which means that leaders need to consider this characteristic for this transitional environment. I received too many questions asking me what kind of skills we need. Since I'm in a CS department, almost all of my students ask me, so AI can do the coding better than us. What's the point to learn coding? And the point is that, in this era, we need different types of skills, mostly human-centered skills. So you should be able to be critical thinking and solving complex problems, not the problems that GPTs can solve. You should be creative and innovative thinkers. All the emotional intelligence is important. How you can manage the communication is important. And obviously, you need to basically plan strategically for your work. These are the skills that this era requires. And obviously, there are some ethical concerns associated that I will discuss about it in more details later on. So now we are all in the same boat. We should use the AI. So how we can decide about the AI? So far, you probably realize that we have different generative AIs. Those generate text, image, audio, video, and so forth. Even for a specific task, we might have different models. For example, ChatGPT and Cloudy, both of them are chatbots, powerful chatbots. However, you can think of these models as different intelligence, like Mercury and Albert Einstein. So they have their own unique neural networks, and they might train on different data sets, both on nature and nature. So as a result, their output the performance will vary. And as I said, for example, if compare ChatGPT with Cloudy, Cloudy is good at answering complex prompts. However, ChatGPT is good at analyzing long documents and creating summaries. So it's very important for you when you select a GPT for your project or for your business. How you can find a GPT? So these days there are various resources to find GPTs from social media, blogs, newsletters, events like tonight. But I just want to introduce a web page which name is There Is an AI for That. So here, if you go to this web page, you can see that here you can search for the specific type of AI. For example, you want chatbots or you want an image generator, and it basically returns to you the most recent relevant AI. And you can here see that it's let you know that which one is free or which one requires payment. And you can find some information regarding to what people think about it, users think about the quality of this AI, and what company is behind it. So now, after finding or what you want to do and probably a list of AI that can handle your task, you are at the point to select the one for your project. When you are thinking about selecting an AI for your project, you're supposed to answer some questions. The first one is know what you want to do. So you really need to know that what problem are you going to solve and what type of work you want to do. So do you want to do writing, create new content, coding, analysis? So based on that, as well as who is going to use this AI, how often is going to be used. So these are the questions that you should know. Also, you need to check how well the AI works. So it means that, is it easy to use that AI? Is it fast enough? Can it handle your workload? Does it create the output that you really want to? Always consistent, good output? So these are the factors. Also, the most important part is the privacy and security. So you need to check the AI tool about the privacy policy. Do they have clear privacy? Do they meet legal requirements? Do they since they use your data, do they keep their data? If they keep, how they store it? So these are also important aspects. And obviously, the price is important. You need to know that what features they offer on the free version versus the premium version. Is there any hidden fee? Or is there, will they increase their price if you increase the usage? And also the reputation of the company is important. So who created that company? What other users think about it? And do they update the AI regularly? Do they have customer service? So these are all important factors. So as a rule of thumb, basically I recommend you first try the free version of any AI that you want. 2 or 3 AIs at least you need. Then ask the AI to do the actual task that you want, and see whether the output meets your requirement or not. And always review the most recent user's opinion. So it will give you some idea on selecting the best AI tool for your job. So when you select your AI, then the next step is to communicate with that AI. As you already saw in the problems that I shared, I always give the AI a prompt. So prompt is a natural language command or input provided for the AI system in order to respond. So the quality of the response depends heavily on the prompt that you are given to the system. This is the place that prompt engineering comes in, which is the process of designing precise instruction that can be understandable by AI and generate the efficient output. So at heart of prompt engineering, since it's a natural language, is a linguistic, the study of the language. So if you can provide nonsenses and context information in the prompt, then the AI can generate the response that you are looking for. And obviously, it will be effective in various fields and applications. So now I just want to show you a good and bad prompt, how they affect a system, ChatGPT. So here, I asked ChatGPT, who are you? Basically introduce itself. It says that I'm ChatGPT, an AI created by OpenAI, here to assist with a wide range of tasks, from answering questions to helping with academic writing, research, and more. So, okay, this is somehow acceptable answers, but not precisely, because I don't know what it can do, how can I communicate with it, and what is its limitation. So compare this prompt with this one. I'd like to learn about you. Could you tell me about your capabilities and approach as an AI assistant? Please be conversational rather than technical, and include what kinds of tasks you enjoy helping with, how you aim to interact with the humans, and any important things I should know about working with you. So basically, this command is, compared to the previous one, is much more detailed, and I ask for different context and instruction. So let's see what's the output now. So in this output, basically, I have all the requirements. What it can do, research, coding, writing, and also it let me know about the tone setting, friendly and respectful. 3 key topics are manageable. So this is what exactly a good introduction for the ChatGPT. So you can generalize this idea to more complex tasks or complex commands. So how you can create a good prompt? There is a formula for it. So first of all, you need to know that these tools are working in a conversational way. You shouldn't expect them to give you an answer in the first try. However, your first try is important. You should provide clear instruction, providing some information about the task and the context that you are asking for. And then this, you should refine this answer, asking for refinement in the later commands. You can see an example here. So on the refinement, it says that rewrite using more natural expressive language and include some example to accompany this information. So over conversation, you eventually might reach to what you exactly wanted. So now, I assume that you. Okay. So here we have some of your responses. These are the prompts that you already provided, and so you have changed them to be an effective prompt. Okay. So, the task is converting these commands into some effective prompts, then compare it with this simple prompt. So, some tools, I just want to introduce some applications here that are that might be helpful as a first beginner user of the AI to craft your prompt. Prompt-based, prompting, and prompt perfect. They are all free. So, but I can't say that their output is exactly what we want. But for training steps, I think it's a good start to know how to create an effective prompt. So that was about using existing AI tools. But some of you might be interested in creating your own GPT. So the question is that, is there any benefit for that one? Does it work? When does it work? So definitely there are some benefits to create your own GPTs because you can customize it based on your company or your business data trained and basically having your own voice, your own company voice and policy in it. So it definitely works much more better than a general AI. And you will have more control on the data privacy. However, and if you use it a lot, then the cost of managing it is acceptable. So who can use or create their own GPTs? Basically, all the companies who are doing a very specialized task, they have repetitive tasks a lot, such as customer services, or companies who are concerned about the privacy a lot. These are the good candidates for having their own GPTs. So, and they can tolerate the cost of maintaining the system. However, if you are a small business, you don't have any repetitive task that much, or you have a limited budget, it's better to stick with the existing GPTs and use them efficiently for your businesses. They are very reliable. So either you use your existing GPTs or creating your own GPTs, they are tools. And like other tools, they have some limitations. So it's good to know about their limitation in order to use them perfectly and efficiently. So here I listed some of the most well-known limitations associated with the generative AI. The first one is the hallucination, which means that fabricating information. The biases, which means that systematic prejudice in the data set. Uncertainty, which means that inconfident answers. Errors, wrong answer, and robustness issue, which means inconsistency in the output. Out of this list, the first two ones may be more important than the others. You should be, as a user, you should be aware of them, basically. The first one is hallucination. Hallucination means that the AI system confidently responds to your answer, to your question, and the answer has not been supported by the training data. So think of it that AI making an answer and which sounding confident, very confident. So it's very bad. Hallucination is a very bad characteristic or limitation because it affected the trustworthiness and reliability of the AI, and also has implication in various fields. For example, they can guess or predict incorrect or provide a wrong answer or misinformed you in your decision-making process.
How do you know it's a wrong answer?
So usually for wrong answers, we always, as a user of the AI, we should have that much knowledge to verify it. So this is how the rule of human now. We shouldn't rely totally on the AI. We should be able to, or we should be at the level of knowledge to verify that this output is correct or not, either by own knowledge or looking for some other.
But what if the information humans have isn't correct?
In what?
If the human operator is misinformed, how can you trust whether or not we make the right decision about use of AI?
So, I mean, some problems come from the system, some problems come from the user. So here we are here to talk about weaknesses of the system, and then hopefully guiding users to improve themselves.
We have a good comment online here from Charlie Finch. Thanks, Charlie. He says here, you should independently fact check anything you don't already know for a fact, the same as you would for a physician's advice. So you get a second opinion, you're gonna look elsewhere. You should not take.
You shouldn't rely on.
You shouldn't rely on AI as necessarily factual. You need to cross-check it as anything else. And I think
over different AIs, you can't rely on them.
right. And I think that's a very important point that we talk about, because I believe it's that a lot of people look to AI as giving them the definitive answer on things.
No.
And it's not. And I think that needs to be made crystal clear to people. You're not going to get definitive answers from AI.
At least not now. I don't know about future.
And what do you think, because recently, ChatGPT, when I use...
Hold on 1 second. We want to get the people up online to hear your question.
Thank you. Okay, so what do you think about, like, recently the ChatGPT allow to search in the website, and then they reply and they attach the source of that to. Do you think that is more reliable, or you think there will be some errors as well?
So according to my experiences, most of the time the references ChatGPT are returning are fake. So I'm using it for my research, for example, or my teaching. So I ask it for a reference for a specific claim that you made. And it returns me something, and I check that something, and it's not there. So this is the way that I've learned to verify the output. So I hope do you have any question? Yeah?
When you don't know the answer, the best is
Comparing the output of several.
ask again with another prompt.
I mean, that is one answer. That is one way, but it's not the only way. You should, you can try other GPTs, or maybe traditional learning process is the good procedure. Yeah. So the hallucination happened because, two main resources is there for hallucination. And the first one is the data, and the second one is the algorithm. The data might not be complete enough for that question that you ask, or maybe it's biased or it's wrong. And also maybe the algorithm is not that much complete to interpret the proper answer over the data. So it might happen, and it's a common limitation for the AI. Another limitation for AI is bias, in which basically sometimes AI make unfair decisions, and that's come because of the biases in the training data. It exactly reflects what we had in the data. So there are three main resources for the biases. I just want to share this video, which talks about three resources.
And picture a shoe. Okay, did anyone picture this? This? How about this? We may not even know why, but each of us is biased toward one shoe over the others. Now imagine that you're trying to teach a computer to recognize a shoe. You may end up exposing it to your own bias. That's how bias happens in machine learning. But first, what is machine learning? Well, it's used in a lot of technology we use today. Machine learning helps us get from place to place, gives us suggestions, translates stuff, even understands what you say to it. How does it work? With traditional programming, people hand code the solution to a problem, step by step. With machine learning, computers learn the solution by finding patterns in data. So it's easy to think there's no human bias in that. But just because something is based on data doesn't automatically make it neutral. Even with good intentions, it's impossible to separate ourselves from our own human biases. So our human biases become part of the technology we create in many different ways. There's interaction bias, like this recent game where people were asked to draw shoes for the computer. Most people drew ones like this. So as more people interacted with the game, the computer didn't even recognize these. Latent bias. For example, if you were training a computer on what a physicist looks like, and you're using pictures of past physicists, your algorithm will end up with a latent bias, skewing towards men. And selection bias. Say you're training a model to recognize faces. Whether you grab images from the internet or your own photo library, are you making sure to select photos that represent everyone? Since some of our most advanced products use machine learning, we've been working to prevent that technology from perpetuating negative human bias. From tackling offensive or clearly misleading information from appearing at the top of your search results page, to adding a feedback tool on the search bar so people can flag hateful or inappropriate autocomplete suggestions. It's a complex issue and there's no magic bullet, but it starts with all of us being aware of it so we can all be part of the conversation. Because technology should work for everyone.
Okay, so after talking about common limitation, it's time to talk about the main limitation of the AI, which is the ethical concern. So, most ethical concerns are primarily due to the privacy concern. Because these models are training on a huge amount of personal data, it's important to know where this data come from, where do they store it, how they being taken care of, and also biases in the data most of the time amplify the discrimination, which affects many applications such as hiring and lending. Transparency and understanding is also important because usually the AI algorithms are too complex to be understandable by people, and usually users are unsure that how the algorithm come up with a specific answer. They can be used for manipulation and misinformation using deep fake for targeted contents. Security risk is also important because the AI systems are vulnerable to hacking and the misuse of information. The last but not least is the moral implication, which is how much we as a human want to let the machine take over the decision-making process in our life. So the next, after talking about AI, current AI, the next rational step will be talking about the future of AI. The next generation of AI are the artificial general intelligence, for short AGI. So AGI refers to AI systems capable of understanding, learning, and applying knowledge across a wide range of tasks, at or even better than the humans. And against the current AI, which are specialized and task-specific, AGI is theoretically designed to handle flexible cognition. So it allows it to do various tasks with a high level of autonomy. Currently, AGI, against the current AI, which are using on a daily basis, AGI is remained in the conceptual and experiment stage. And the reason is that implementing the cognitive system of the human is very, in a full depth, is very hard and requires enormous amount of computational resources. And also, considering safety and ethical aspects are important. It's also important for us to addressing the environment, including these creatures that may do something against human values. So that was about today introduction of generative AI. And I just want to introduce the program that we have at UHD, Master of AI, in which we are talking about various aspects of the AI, from the traditional one, expert system, to the most modern one. This program announced as the top 30 AI programs this year by Tech Guide, and we are still working on it to make it a better version of itself. Thank you for watching.
All right, thank you. Online, do we have any questions? Well, we have a comment here. We have excellent introduction and summary. Thank you, Dr. Izadi. All right. Yes, you do. Hold on one second. For the folks online.
So many companies that produce AI, either AI-assisted or AI products, claim to have a hallucination-free AI. Is that possible, or is that just a
as far
marketing
as I know,
aspect?
it's not really possible, because AI depends on data, and data is not complete always. So it's becoming better and better, but there. Hallucination is a factor that we should always consider it.
And then, if nobody has those questions, at the end of the day, it's about, okay, is it creating, or is it basically trying to repeat pattern based on what is learned? So to me, the biggest example of creativity of humans is lying. Can AI lie?
I mean, it's a very philosophical.
Intentionally lie. I mean, that's
it's a philosophical concern. I mean, different people have different opinion regarding creativity. Some people connected this concept to the intelligence, some people not. So, based on my knowledge, I think that now it's not capable of doing creativity as it's common for humans. But if AGI comes in, it will be possible, because that system is much more completed than human mind. So they can create.
So has there been any sort of either found or researched, or in your research or any place where they have seen that AI answers that something that is not in keeping with the training, basically intentionally falsifying an answer?
It do it, basically. There are some researchers out there, some people are working on the idea of hallucination and how it happens. But basically, since the heart of the AI is neural network, and it's worked like a black box. Nobody knows what's going on. Although human created it, nobody knows what's going on inside it. And since they don't know, they can't control it.
Yeah. And then just another comment to all the questions about, how do you know it's right and stuff. It's kind of amusing to me, because we don't ask that questions, or we don't have that expectation from humans. We accept the fact that humans can make mistakes, can give you wrong answers, can do all that stuff. But, somehow we want to hold AI in a much higher things and say, well, how do you know it's not? The question is, how do you know when you ask a human, they don't have a wrong answer, and they're very confident. And we know many, many people that give you wrong answers. They're very confident, but like I said, there's also there are people that intentionally will give wrong answers. So that's a dilemma for us to decide. Do we just say no AI because the answers could be wrong, or because we have a way to handle wrong answers like we do with humans?
The problem is that the chat, they don't say, I don't know. They answer.
Usually people also, they don't know. I mean, they don't say they don't know, especially politicians. So you can see that AI is somehow like them. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Izadi. Thank you, Dr. Lin. Thank you all for those of you who are online. We hope you found this session useful. If you have any questions, you can send them to me, and I will forward them on to Dr. Izadi and Dr. Lin. Thank you all. Good night.